Okay, hey, it's J-Man and Sean, and we are back with our comic book talk. We used to do this as just like audio, but now we're going to video. And we used to do, first it was Marvel Bronze Age, and then we changed it to just classic comics, and now we're just making it anything. So we're just talking about key issues, and it doesn't mean like the first appearance of this person or the first costume change or something. To me, it's going to be something that we like or something that said something important, or it even could just be something that we thought was really, really cool and, helped shaped our love for the character or whatever, right? It could be anything like that. I'm debuting my new Superman shirt that I got especially for this first DC thing. And if you're going to start branching out from Marvel into DC, who are you going to choose? Well, Superman, who is my favorite superhero. He's one of my favorite characters. He might be my favorite fictional character ever. My channel is mostly X-Men heavy. That's just because there's a lot of X-Men stuff to talk about. Superman, he's kind of not around as like he's got his action comics and his Superman comic, and I read them. I've read them all. I'm caught up. And my worst week, it's one Superman comic a week. On my best, it's like 5 or 6 a week. That's how it used to be. And still to this day, it's minimum one a week, whichever one comes out. If one doesn't come out, I read an old one. So Sean kind of suggested, let's throw this one out. And this is Action Comics. Now, it does say Superman in Action Comics. That's where they Action Comics was a bunch of stories. Then it became Superman, really. And that's kind of what it still is. So this one is number 775. Why such a high number? Well, Sean picked this because this is the What's So Funny Bout Truth, Justice, and the American Way. And I'm going to have the Comixology version because I don't own this book, so I'm going to flip through it while we're talking. I like the art a lot. But okay, so Sean, tell us about what this is briefly, and why did you think this one was the one to start with?
Well, this was, it's 2001, I think this comic came out. So at that time and still today, there was a debate raging about the more anti-hero type of comics, like the Authority at that time. And if there's really a place for a character like Superman. And this story is all about that. He confronts a very anti-hero supergroup, and they have no value towards life. And so Superman tries to reason with them with varying degrees of success. So yeah, and in so doing, it really shows you Superman, what he's about, which is never really, in my opinion, and maybe Jason, you can go into that a bit more because you read a lot more Superman than me, but it's never really shown a lot. What he thinks about everything around the world, and what he thinks about the state of superheroics and stuff like that, right? I mean, I know Kingdom Come was all about that too.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the current series, this is Bendis now who's running things, and he's revealed himself. And I mean, like this is just another one of these Superman things. Like he was Electric Blue, and then he was the.
It's just a gimmick.
It's
right?
just a gimmick for now. Yeah. People are not liking it. I'm part of a few Superman communities, and they're not happy. I'm not happy. I'm just like, okay, it's a different take. I mean, the character's been around ages and ages. Well, AT&T is trying their best to kill it, but in any case, Superman's been around forever. To me, if someone tells you that they don't like Superman, that's a trigger in my mind to tell me that you don't know anything about comics or superheroes, because without Superman, I would go so far as to say without Superman, there's no San Diego Comic-Con. I don't know if that's outrageous to say, but I would very strong, because look, Doc Savage, the Spider, the Shadow, Phantom, Mandrake, who else we got? Who are these guys? Like Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers, any of these guys, they're great. But Superman was the one that really made this.
He's the first superpowered superhero.
Right.
Like, I mean, Phantom, I think, is the first superhero.
Masked.
Like, really, masked. Because, like, Doc's very, very old, too.
Like,
and Superman even takes from Doc Savage a bit.
Oh, big, Clark. His name is Clark. He has the Fortress of Solitude. That's crazy. So I mean, yeah, Superman has borrowed from that and just made it the best, and he is the best. And yeah, if you had to pick one superhero to be a real life thing, like if you just said, oh, I wish there was this superhero really flying around doing things, are you going to pick Deadpool? Like, it's stupid, right? Like,
Yeah.
if someone's like, okay, pick one superhero to be alive in the real world, you're going to say Superman. You're not going to say Batman. Like, oh, well, I don't live in Gotham, so I guess I'm screwed if I get mugged. It's like,
Yeah.
I'd rather, so that's my feeling on it. I love Superman, and a character that's been around so long, people are going to question, do we still need this guy? Like Doc Savage didn't survive the test of time. He comes out here and there, Green Hornet, like all these guys are great. I love them all. I've got a Doc Savage statue. It's like a huge one. I love Doc Savage. I love the Spider, the Shadow, Phantom, Flash Gordon. I've got the Phantom dailies collected in those big hardcover books. There's like 6 or 7 volumes, and it keeps going, So I love it, but Superman is the best. Okay, and this book, so basically this is the Elite. The Elite, which is Manchester Black, who's the only guy I can't remember the other characters.
Cold Cast.
Yes.
The Hat. And Pamela. I can't remember her superhero name, but
yes. Manchester was the one who stood out because he was like a real douche.
Yeah, and he didn't have a name. He was just Manchester Black, right?
Yeah, he's got the big.
I guess that's his hero. I don't know, but he's a dude. He's drawn hilarious. He's just like he has this I don't care face, and he's always got like a very very small cigarette. Like he's dragged it all day.
Yes,
and it's like it's super tiny, and at one point he throws it at Superman's chest or whatever. Yeah, he's I don't care face.
I think it's genius. There's your team.
Yeah,
they're just genius. So basically, they kill. There's like, I guess there's like some sort of what is it, like an attack or something?
There's like a giant gorilla with a machine gun or something.
Yeah, it's like some crazy alien.
They kill it in a brutal way. There's blood all over the place. But also that thing falls on like a giant city and like kills everyone.
So there's no regard for property damage, or
life.
Or life.
Be mindful of like where you are. At one point,
this is like a Zack Snyder film.
Yeah, and when Superman confronts them toward the end, and they're about to fight him and everything, and they're like, "Let's rip out his eyelids and like kneecaps and stuff." And then he's like, "Guys, one request, not here." And like he points to like the city is underneath them.
Yeah.
and Manchester Black is like, "Oh, I know, how quaint, a last request." And then and then they go to a moon of like I think it's Jupiter or something like that.
Jupiter. It's one of the Jupiter moons or something.
Yeah.
Well, we know Superman's gonna die in this one, right? The Elite's definitely gonna take him out. I like this section where he's talking to. So this is where Man of Steel, not the movie, the miniseries.
The miniseries, okay.
Yeah, had the parents alive.
Yeah.
So
that was reflected in Lois and Clark.
Yes.
Where they did a post-crisis Superman, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I really, really, really like that. I can't specifically tell you why.
It brought that Aunt May element.
Yes.
Because at one point they killed Aunt May and Spider-Man, and people in Wizard magazine was written by douches, so they always complained about like, oh, she's old, like kill her off already and stuff. When she died, they didn't understand, and I knew this as a kid, that if you kill her off, you get rid of a large part of the conscience and storytelling of that character. And so they brought in that Aunt May element with having the parents alive still, so he can go to them for solace,
And he gets advice, and he starts to even question, like even Jonathan is like saying, well, can you win or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of left. It's like, and then he goes, I don't know. There's like
it's because he's flying around. he's flying around and he's hearing people debating about like the elite and Superman. And so like these teenagers are walking by, and all the teenage guys are like, yeah, you know, the elite's awesome, they kill, you know, like if they didn't, then this stuff would just happen over and over again. And the girls are like, yeah, but like, you know, who are we as a society kind of thing. And then he flies by these kids, and the kids are drawn hilarious, like they're not even cute. And and like one kid is Superman, the other guys are the elite.
Yeah.
And the Superman kid is like, this isn't fair, like you could kill me, I can't kill you. And they're like, well, that's the way it is, like we'll kill you and you just become another superhero, right? And but it sticks in Clark's craw. Like he goes and he talks to his dad, and his dad's like, well, yeah, people are, you know, talking about that because he got teleported into a used car salesman lot. And the people are thinking you look like a goof and everything. And then he talks to Lois and says like, yeah, these kids were playing, and this one kid was Superman, and like he was ashamed to be Superman, you know.
That was a good
So
part
he feels
too.
he has to, yeah. Like I know Jonathan Kent's like, you can't just talk to them and tell them what to do. They're not going to understand. You have to teach them, Clark.
Yep.
So that's what he sets out to do towards the end of this comic.
On the Jupiter moon or whatever. And
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, this is a little bit of a thicker issue going by the
The
page
double
counts.
signs, yeah.
It's a double, which is cool because you want to tell this story, you know, and you want to get all the perspectives. And I think the debate that they're showing is the debate that we have. It's still going on now because
Yeah.
they still keep trying to take Superman and turn him into something that he's not. And they're
Injustice,
changing,
yeah.
yeah, they're changing the character, and it's making people, whether they realize it or not, people aren't liking it. Like, why is it that the Superman films are not ginormous, mega, uber blockbusters
Why are we not watching part 4 right now?
right now?
It's like, yeah, and the thing is, look, we're about the same age, right?
Yeah,
So when we were kids, Christopher Reeve was big, and
yes,
Christopher Reeve defined Superman for not even a generation, I'd say generations.
for
And
sure.
and the thing is, people do draw inspiration from Superman. You still see him all over pop culture casually, like people wearing Superman shirts or having the S tattoo, like athletes do that. And if you go, like I know people say this online, like I don't frequent these hospitals, but if you go to hospitals where like, well, cancer patients, kids with cancer, they'll have a Superman sash or a Superman something around. This is something that people, there's an ideal there that people always aspire to and reference in songs and stuff.
Yeah,
And it's something that Warner Brothers just patently didn't understand. And they said, let's go darker. It's like, you could go darker with Batman, but like an easy way to do this with Superman. I know we're getting into the movies. We'll go back to this comic, but
yep,
um, look, Captain America is a good hero. He's got a moral like a sense of morality, and they depicted that character through a bunch of movies, and he's tested and stuff. You could do that with Superman as well. Also, it's fine to humanize him. He's a human, and like I know he's a Kryptonian, but he's culturally a human. He had crushes. He had loving parents. He went to school. He probably has favorite cartoon shows. It's like he likes music, perhaps. I mean, like you can humanize him. You can pick a date when, like, if we're saying that Superman's 30 now, let's go back 30 years and what would he like? What was his first concert? Stuff like that. I mean, he is still a person, and I don't like it when he's just not written like that. You know, like Peter Parker was very grounded, and you can do that with Superman. Like he has a wife. I don't know if that's still a thing. They didn't do
yeah.
a
And
one more
they
day
had a
thing.
son.
Yeah, they had a son, and that was cool. And then they got rid of that idea,
Yeah,
which
the
was
son
dumb.
got aged. Bendis aged him. He
That's
went off with
stupid.
Jor-El. I mean, that was
Yeah.
a fail because the Jonathan Kent boy, like the boy Kent, him
Hmm.
and Damian Wayne together, they had a
Yeah.
title, which I was reading, Super Sons. It was wicked. And Damian Wayne is a little ninja. He's like a ninja. And
Yeah.
him teaming, and he's like a little runt, you know, and then him with Jonathan, who picks him up and hugs him and all that was great stuff. and Jonathan was becoming sort of the Superman that we liked, and kids could have grown up reading that, and then Bendis aged him, which was like fail. Out of all the things he did, that was the biggest fail. Maybe I don't know if they can undo that, but I
No, you
mean,
can't.
I don't know. Well, like, yeah, and this thing with Superman, let's make him darker. It's like it just doesn't work. The people might think it's cool, and they're like, yeah, we want that, but they subconsciously they don't want it because they're not going and supporting this. It's like the darker colors. It's like this. Who is Superman? He has to find his place. Superman doesn't need to find his place. Superman is a human that has alien abilities. This bullshit, I'm tired of this, like, oh, he's not one of us. No. He is one of us. This is the whole, it's a
the
child.
immigrant story. And I know people say, like, it's the immigrant story. I don't think they understand what that means. It's the immigrant story in that if you were born in India and you came here when you were 2, like we're in Canada, you grow up Canadian.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, the Burling Down Right River song, you watch The Sweater. It's like, you know, all this. It's like you're a Canadian, you know, and people who discriminate against you are intolerant of others. And that's how people, it's so weird. That's how people behave towards Superman. And he's a fictional character, but it's like, he's not one of us. It's like, he's an alien though. Remember, he's an alien. It's like, but he's a human in that he grew up here. It's like he had parents, he grew up in a rural area, you know, he went to school, he had a crush on Lana Lang and Lori Lamoury. Anyway, but and all this stuff, and he had friends here and stuff like that, and he makes friends when he goes to the big city and all that. He's a guy, everything is laid out for you in terms of character development. He's a guy with superpowers that chose to be a reporter and not a police officer, an army soldier, or anything like that. He likes to get to the truth of things. That's his passion. He likes to solve mysteries and things like that. And he has these powers, and he's mindful of others. He's not gonna, you know, it's like he fights a guy, he's not gonna throw him through, like, you know, like drag him through buildings and stuff like Man of Steel. He's grown up being mindful of people. He doesn't become Superman. I hate that defense of Man of Steel, like, he's not Superman yet, but he's 30 years old. Like, at what point is he going to learn morality and learn to be mindful of the people around him when he's had powers all his life and has lived around humanity? It's like, now he's going to become Superman? That's not how it works. That's not how people work. Anyway, getting back to this comic.
Yes, back to the So how does he defeat the Elite, Sean? What is he going to do? How is he going to possibly win?
Well, they think they killed him, and then all of a sudden he starts like he starts taking out the Elite one by one, and then he tells Manchester Black, like, oh, I killed them all, and he's like, I can't remember who it was, the Hat or someone, into space, and I heard him pop and everything. And so they're all thinking as they're dying not really dying, one by one, being taken out. They think, oh, he's finally flipped, and basically what Superman's doing is he's giving them a taste of their own medicine. This is how they treat others. And so Manchester's like, you killed them. I can't believe it, right? And he's stunned and he's saddened. And then Superman's, how do you feel about that, right? And then he doesn't like it, of course, Manchester Black. And then Manchester can't use his powers. So this is a super contrivance. This is like a typical thing in Superman comics. So Superman claims that he uses X-ray vision and heat vision to lobotomize Manchester Black, the part of his brain that has his powers. And so that's why he can't use them right now. And really what he did was he used those same abilities to give him a mini concussion. Fine, sure, it's Superman science, right? But
yeah, I was a bit confused, to be honest. I'm like, wait, okay, so wait, did he do that or did he not? Like, what is happening here? And I thought, can that be done? But this is more of a tale to inspire you about Superman, and this is not the let's
get into the weeds.
Like, you don't pick this apart and be like, well, wait a minute, how did that work? Like,
why can't you just do that all the time?
All the time,
yeah. But yeah, he gives him and so that means that his powers are disabled for a bit, in the
Right.
comics continuity, so this is Manchester Black's, I think, first appearance.
Hmm.
And so after that, he went on, because once you create a character, other guys just like take that guy and do
Yeah.
stuff with him. And so he lost his powers for a couple of months, and then finally got them back. Um, but whatever. Anyway, so then this is being broadcast to everyone on Earth, due to Manchester Black's like flying cameras or whatever.
Yeah.
And so people like, oh my God, did Superman become like bad over something? But then he gives this big inspiring speeches like all the characters that he took out, they're not dead. He just told Manchester Black that they were dead.
Right.
But he just like knocked them unconscious. And he implies, I can't remember which character it is. He implies that one of them, or maybe even all of them, were under Manchester Black's control. That they didn't want to be part of the elite. And do all these things. Can you find that line?
I'll see if
It's
I can find it because I don't.
it's something to do with like a blah blah character. I can't remember who it was grateful to be released from
To
your
be
control or
released.
something like that. Yeah,
I'll see if I can find it while
yeah.
we're chatting.
But yeah, so then he takes them out, and then he makes this inspiring speech about like the dream, the ideal of like like valuing life and ending conflict peacefully. And yes, it's still going to result in perhaps like escalation, or maybe even like a repeat of what happened, but you never finish the fight. I mean, you always like pick yourself back up and like maintain control, and not descend into this hole of madness of like just like now we're gonna kill, and that just never ends, right? Did you find it?
No, no, I didn't find
Oh
it.
no,
I
yeah,
don't remember. I don't remember. This is a long comic. I don't remember exactly what page. It
yeah,
must have
yeah,
been towards the end. But
yeah.
like, the thing is, not to take this back to Man of Steel, but throwing him into these conflicts of like these morality conflicts is cool. But you need to be a good writer to find a way out of it. Like in this book, he
Mhm.
found a smart way out of it. He tricked Manchester. He kind of disabled the other guys.
Superman's resourceful. That's
Right.
he's always been like that. Yeah,
And this whole idea of like, the Zod snap, and he's like, well, I don't know what, there's nothing to do. Well, why don't you just put your hand over his eyes? Like, I don't, he's shooting I mean, I just came
because
up with something instantaneously, like right there when, it's like, we'll just go like this and cover it. Like,
yeah,
it's just done
two
very
things.
poorly.
Yeah, two things. That screenplay is idiotic and ill-conceived and messy.
Yeah.
Um, and the other thing too is my problem with Man. I know we're always gonna be stunned by Man of Steel here, but my problem with Man of Steel is that throughout the movie they sort of show off that like this isn't your granddaddy Superman, this isn't your
Right.
father Superman, and like he's beating up Zod all over the place, and then he at one point he flies Zod right into the heart of Smallville, and like I swear there's a shot of a 7-Eleven with someone fueling up their car and people walking in and out of the 7-Eleven, and it blows up because they go right into that 7-Eleven, and I'm like, did he just kill people at the 7-Eleven?
Yeah.
But like he endangers all their lives and stuff. And like at the end, he's endangering everyone's lives inside of Metropolis. Like
Oh,
he's
big
like
time.
flying all over the place with Zod and like through buildings and everything. And and so they're showing like this isn't your father, Superman. He doesn't care. Like he's tougher. This is grittier. This is more violent. And then at the end, um, they contrive this whole situation where there's a family and Zod is about to kill them, and now he's all like, oh, I gotta save them. So he breaks Zod's neck, and then he's so horrified by taking a life that he screams to the heavens. The problem with that scene is that they show that he didn't care much about life and wasn't really mindful of others before. And all of a sudden, you're now supposed to delve back into your knowledge of Superman the way you know him, the way I know him. The Superman I know would be appalled by breaking someone's neck, but I'm not so sure that this Superman would be. And so
Yeah.
it kind of seems when he is acting like Superman in that movie, he's appalled that he just took a life. It seems out of character to what I saw in the past 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like
They
it
don't
doesn't
even.
make any sense. Like because we know who Superman should be, we know the morality of Superman. That's going back to this comic.
Yeah.
Um, but they took that, wiped their ass with it, and then at the end they're like, see, the Superman you know, it's like, you can't call back to the Superman I know when you didn't show me the Superman I know for the past 2 hours. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. I know Superman would be appalled by doing that. I don't think this Superman would be. You didn't show that.
Yeah, that was, they didn't even stick to their own version of Superman, which was not the
Yeah.
real Superman, but they didn't even stick
And
to that. They tried to
and
give it back to you
storytelling,
at the end.
yeah, storytelling wise, there's not one, but two father figures in that movie, and they still couldn't harp on like, if that's gonna be a punchline that he breaks Zod's neck and then he's appalled by that, then have someone talk about morality to him, or like, or something like that. Like, you had like in the beginning of that movie, okay, I'll say this about Man of Steel and then I'll stop, but like, where Clark saves that school bus, and then Jonathan Kent is like is scolding him and stuff,
Yeah.
and he's like, so you're saying I shouldn't have like saved those kids? He's like, maybe, and I'm like, no. Like, and and from that, you're getting at the end, he's appalled by killing the guy. Like, you didn't even talk about that theme of life and your responsibility to it, and you had two father figures to do that with, like, in
Yeah.
this script. Anyways,
Yeah.
I don't
No.
like Man of Steel. It's a frustrating movie. It's a fun popcorn type of thing, I guess, but it's not
Yeah.
that fun because it's kind of humorless and joyless.
I defend. Yeah, I
Yeah,
defended it because I was like, this is an exciting movie. There's a lot of great fights and all that. And I think this is one of these times where it's like, this is the Batman Begins thing where the last one was kind of so far messed up. Like Superman Returns was so boring and just
yeah.
drab. And it was like,
And
oh,
Man of Steel's a reaction to Superman Returns, but they're
turns, yeah.
so they don't understand storytelling. Like, yes, we wanted more action. That's true. But
Yes.
write it smart. Like, I don't
Yeah,
understand.
it was
Like,
just
what's the
not
moral
done well.
grounding of this movie anyway?
I
Yeah.
think this, now they did this as an animated series, which I do, an animated film, which I own.
Ooh, I
I own
haven't seen
that
it
on
yet.
Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But I think this would be a very good style. Like, my idea was always use Magog from
Yeah.
Kingdom Come and do something. But like, this is a good thing because this will address the, we want, like, I do like I don't say I love Deadpool. I like Deadpool. I think he's cool. But this whole Deadpool is now my whole life and this is what I measure everything by. That's
Yeah.
tiresome because it's
Uh-huh.
like Deadpool. I'm a Rob Liefeld fan. I love Rob. I listen to his Rob Observations podcast. But
Yeah.
like, to me, Cable is the guy I like because I think he's interesting. I think Deadpool was just an accident. He created a Spider-Man guy with swords, and somehow that took off mostly because of other people's contribution
Yeah.
to that character.
Right.
Whereas I do think Rob Liefeld did cool with Cable having this mystery and who is he and he's from the future. That's a cooler idea and character for me than Spider-Man with swords who talks shit. But in any case, to bring this back, this is now, we're getting into this thing where it's like, oh, we want the gritty heroes and this new Batman's going to be even darker now. Like, seriously, it's like, give me a mystery. But I want to see Batman as a detective. That's a separate video. We'll do a Batman one and talk about that. I want Superman to be Superman. I want Superman Prime or Superman OG or whatever the terms that you have to use to get that. And if you want to throw the elite in, then have them be douchebags and do this kind of thing. And then it's like people, the audience at the end should be like, yeah, I'm with Superman. Because in this comic, you might be thinking, well, yeah, I mean, the elite, it's like, if you don't kill Joker, like, he just keeps coming back, right?
Yeah.
This was the Kingdom Come thing with Magog. It's like, okay, Joker killed all these people, we're gonna let him pass. Okay, Joker did this, let it pass. Joker kills the Daily Planet, all the Daily Planet guys. Oh, we're giving him a pass. It's Magog. Then Magog in that story is like, well, I'm not giving him a pass on this one, and he blows him away. It's like, exactly. It's like, and you're thinking yourself too, thinking, you know what? Screw Joker. Like, this isn't like the Riddler. It's like, oh, he's weird. It's like, this is Joker. He's a psychotic piece of crap. Just kill him.
Yeah.
But the point is that you don't cross that line, right? Because it's like, that is the point.
Have you read Injustice?
No.
So
It looks
I've
like
read
something I wouldn't be into.
No, you wouldn't be into it. So
Yeah, I thought so.
I read the first 2.5 years.
Mhm.
There's 5 years. It ties into the video game, and so the comic shows you how Superman and everyone got so far evil in the 5 years leading up to the video game, right?
Right.
So, but the thing is, what I don't like about Injustice is it's kind of it gets silly in that it begins with Joker hatching a plot to where he nukes Metropolis, and then he hypnotizes Superman into thinking that Lois is him, and I can't a villain, and then flies that villain into space and then kills Lois in so doing, and so flies back to Earth and impales Joker with his hand and kills Joker. Okay, so he had a bad day, right? But the thing
Right.
is that like but then from there he imposes like authoritarian rule over the earth, and he teams up with all the bad lanterns and stuff, and kills the lantern corp and everything. And it gets stupid because it's like, but why would he continue on that path? Are you saying that he was always like that and needed some sort of
Trigger.
a trigger to all of a sudden become evil and authoritarian? It's like he kills all sorts of he kills Alfred at one point. I mean, like, and it's just, I know you're trying to get to the point in the game, but like, but to say that Superman's just like that bubbling underneath the surface is dumb, because that's not his character. In real life, that situation really happened. They killed Lois. Like, he'd probably almost want to kill Joker, and then probably Batman would do it for him, But like,
Right.
that would probably, it's like chum. He wouldn't say chum, but like, buddy. Like, I got this one. I don't want this to be on your conscience because I don't know where that's going to lead. And then he'd probably do it himself. And then Superman wouldn't then the next day still be evil, and then a year later still be evil. He'd go back to his default personality, which has always been the someone who's mindful of others, who wants to do good, who wants to champion justice. That's his default. That's who he really is. Injustice sort of implies that who he really is a psycho bubbling underneath.
Yeah.
But
And I
anyway,
think, well, Kingdom Come had that scenario-ish because Superman was just upset at the way the world turned,
and
and
so yeah,
he exiles himself to the fortress, which he recreates the image of the farm. And that seems more logical to
at,
me,
at
right?
the end
Like,
of that comic, he tries to destroy the UN building, and then you remember this, right?
yeah,
And then the Spectre and the old guy come, and he's like, who are you? And the old guy's like, listen, I've been observing all this. It's like, if you do this, they will never forgive you.
yeah,
And then he's like, and then he comes to his senses, and he was angry, right? But
right.
then after that, he's not also angry and starts frying the UN. It's like he comes to his senses. He's like, okay, you know what, you're right, and then he goes back to the farm.
And I like putting the flag, I like putting the Captain Marvel Shazam cape as a
Hmm.
flag to symbolize
Yeah,
heroes like superpower metas and humans, because Captain Marvel was the only one who was both, right? He
yeah,
was
yeah,
normal and then he was superpower. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
like that. Like, Superman has great stories. The thing with Superman is that when there's a great story, it's really super great.
yeah,
Batman is always popular because it's a little bit easier. You can do detective work and just have a cool detective story, and then you could just
yeah,
have that, and that's always interesting. Detective stories are always interesting. Those are always the most
yeah.
popular TV shows. And then
Hmm.
Batman can also get down and gritty if he needs to. So he's a very versatile character in that sense. Superman requires writers to be on top of their game.
Yeah,
Superman is not an easy character. He is a great character and the best character if you have someone who can really do something. Like All-Star Superman to me was the damn best. That's a one-off
yeah.
thing.
Thing, yeah.
It's like when Superman has a great story, they're really great. And
Hmm.
and and, and you can't just be a ho-hum writer. Oh, I want to have some crap happen. It's like, no,
Yeah,
and even the run of the mill Superman story could still be cool. Man of Tomorrow, which is the comics that I think were released as Walmart exclusive comics or something. Remember when they were doing that, the digests? Remember you were getting the digest from
right.
Marvel?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They had the DC things, they've been bringing those out on Comixology as digital exclusives, and I've been reading those, and they're bloody fantastic. And it's like, this is better than the Bendis action Superman run, because it's just Superman stories where he's inspiring people. And then there's one where, I don't know what issue it was, and I did a video on it, where he's inspiring these people to like help out, and there's like some disaster, and people are like, okay, I've got extra food, I can chip in with some food, and someone's like,
I think that's
okay.
the first issue, no?
Well, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, this is perfect. It's like, this is how it's supposed to be. And trying to change this doesn't make any sense either. It's like, I'm done with this attitude of like this elite attitude, which is what unfortunately the writers and filmmakers seem to be getting. I think they would side on the elite's side. It's like, well, Superman just goes crazy. Well, he wasn't crazy. He was never, even if he had a bad day, like you're saying, and he kills Joker out of some accident or just some rage mode, I think if he killed Joker, he would be devastated. And then he would just go back and just be like, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I don't know what I've done. Like, I need to somehow try to atone for this. I don't think he would go more psychotic.
No,
like,
yeah. He exiled himself at one point in the post-crisis Superman.
Yeah, I don't think that
after he killed the Phantom Zone. Yeah, after he killed the Phantom Zone criminals. Remember, he went to another universe where Phantom Zone criminals killed everyone on Earth, and then he subjects them to kryptonite, and then he exiles himself into space somewhere, and then he has space adventures and stuff,
which is cool.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I think if they're going to do something, this comic might be a good template. Or something like this maybe with the Man of Tomorrow, with maybe the Magog. I was thinking Magog because he's an easy character and he visually looks interesting. Manchester Black's just a regular guy. Like, I know movies are spectacles as well. So, Superman fighting a guy like Magog would be kind of cool, because that would be like a really interesting visual thing, as well as you could still have this morality play where Magog kills maybe some terrorists or something today, like a today thing. He maybe kills a few people and you're like, oh no. And people are like, yeah, you know what? They were terrorists, screw them. And Superman's like, yeah, but that's not how we operate. Something like that. You could do something. I don't know what they're going to do. Like this comic, I don't know why it was number 775. It's just like so random to me. Like that. It was just this random issue number, I guess, just to bring it back to the
it's become a classic. And of course, it's become a classic, and of course, it was created. It was adapted into Superman versus the Elite.
Yeah, and the art is really nice. I don't have the original book of this, but like just flipping through, like the colors are great, and Superman looks great. I will say that the comics have always kept Superman looking pretty good and bright. They've never. Some of the faults of Marvel is that they've taken the movies and inserted that. The general populace loves the movies, and they've taken elements from the movies and put that back into the comics to try to link it. But I like DC. Like Batman still looks like regular Batman to me. He's gray and black. That's fine. Not the gray and blue. But sometimes they draw him, they ink him with a little bit really dark blue, so it's still a little bit there. But like, look, that's like Superman.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
plus he has the yellow S on his cape.
Yeah. Hey, that's why I got this. I was gonna get there's a hoodie of this where it's on the back. I thought, oh, that'd be cool, but then it was like double the price. But yeah, this is a great comic. It gave you everything you wanted. You had good action, good story. The colors were good. Like, you got the perspectives of Lois, like Clark. You see that Clark is human in the sense too that he's got friends. He goes to his parents for advice. Like, is this something that an alien superpower would do? It's like,
they give lip service.
He is.
They give lip service to that in Justice League, where because that's the Zack Snyder way of telling stories, like tell not show. But like Bruce Wayne is like, Superman was more human than me. He had a girlfriend. He had parents. He had a job, right? It's like, good going. It's like, show that though.
It's like two lines of dialogue.
He's like talking to himself, saying this, but like anyway.
Yeah, two lines of dialogue is going to explain why Superman is great. It's like, you need to see it.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things. Like, if you go back to the Reeve films, like Superman's interactions is what tells you about the character. Like, he interacts with Lois. And that's a great interaction. He interacts with Luthor. very important scene in Superman 1 is Luthor, the meeting.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, Luthor, it's like, you know, you're planning this thing and all that. And then he's like, he goes, is that how a warped mind like yours gets its kicks, by plotting the death of innocent people? And he's like, no, by causing the deaths. And, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like Superman can't even comprehend at what an evil, despicable piece of crap Lex Luthor is, that he's like, oh, is that how you get off, by thinking of killing people? He's like, no, by actually killing people. Like Superman didn't even go there, you know?
Yeah.
And Superman could have easily broken the Zack Snyder version of Superman 1. Is he breaks in and just beats the shit out of all of those guys, and it's over. And it's like, yeah, but what have I learned? Superman breaks into people's houses and beats them up. Like,
plus it wouldn't be over because he does all that in the missile launches.
And the missile,
it's like you're not solving anything by beating up these guys. It's like there's a grander design here, you know.
That
like
was cool too.
You can't just use a mallet to, like, you know, swat an ant. It's like there's a lot more at play here, and there's consequences. But yeah, anyway.
And Superman's attitude saved him. I know Miss Tessmacher removes the chain, kryptonite, but it's his. She knows who he is, and he's a stand-up guy, and he's like, and she saves him because of that. So I know you could say she saved him, but she didn't save him. He saved himself.
Like, well, my mom lives in whatever area it was going to blow up, and she goes, I know you never lie. It's like, promise me that you'll save her.
Yeah,
and then
save
Hackensack. And then that's what does it. It's like his personality, his moral code wins out. What a great script that movie, man.
Right, yeah.
It's
so
like,
when you walk out
script,
of that,
not Man of Steel, man.
Yeah, so when you walk out of that film, you're like, wow, Superman's great. And when you walk out of this comic, you're like, oh wow, that was really good. Like, even if you were with the Elite for a little bit, you're not at the end, because you're like, you know what? Yeah, I can't, like, you can't get into this killing everybody just for the shit of it, and the damage to everything. And it's like, let's just blast everybody to pieces. And it's like, well, what's that going to solve? So many innocent people died with that gorilla smashing that city. And it's like, well, the Elite, to me, the Elite just killed a bunch of innocent people too. It's like, what are you doing? Why did you do that? You could, with your powers, you could have solved it in another way. Yeah. And I like that Superman doesn't always have to use his strength. They keep making it Batman is the smartest and Superman is just like a big dumb Boy Scout. No, Superman is super smart. He's smart. It's like he can outsmart people too. And it's weird because they always make Batman in the films an action hero character where he beats the crap out of guys or does something where it's like, and Superman's like, well, he'll fight his way out. It's like, but they're both smart. Superman is smart. He reads books like this. Like, it's like, yeah, I read this book. It's like, he's a smart guy. He can outsmart the criminals. I like the Superman 2 Phantom Zone scene, not Phantom Zone, Solitude scene, because he outsmarts them. Like, this is one where maybe he couldn't have won by fighting them because there's 3 of them. And he outsmarts them. He brings them back to his fortress where he could set up shit and remove their powers. And it's like, that's the smart way to win. Because he wasn't getting anywhere. The Zack Snyder version is, let's just keep kicking the crap out of each other until Zod's dead. In the other one, Superman gets up, he looks around, and he's like, holy shit, this city's being pummeled. He's like, I've got to lead them away from here. He takes off. And they're like, oh, he's a coward. Let's go finish him off. And it's like, yeah, he's not obviously a coward. He's getting them out of there. And that was smart because we still got an action scene. It's smart too, right? Because we still got a cool action scene.
Yeah.
But we have Superman thinking and caring about people. It's very tough. It's tough to write this. But when you do, it's great, you know? And that's the thing about it. And yeah, and this comic was like, look, you're telling me there's no action in this? Oh, this is a boring issue. Well, there's fights, man. Right? Superman got beat up. So, right? So what are you talking about? Like, they're like, oh, he's so overpowered and it's just boring. It's like, it's not boring. There's fight, there's morality, there's cool things to solve. There's been ones where it's just Superman trying to figure out a mystery. And even if it's Lois Lane and Clark working together on a story, that's cool too.
Yeah.
And just using his powers, you know, doing this. And then he looks and he's like, oh, the papers are behind there. But even when Superman knows something, he might use his X-ray vision and see something and be like, oh, the evidence is behind that door. That doesn't mean he breaks the wall down and grabs the evidence.
Yeah.
It
To
just
me,
means that he knows, and he's like, I have to get proof for him. He knows Lex Luthor is bad.
yeah,
Like, he could just go and just laser him. He can literally fly over and laser and like friggin'
yeah,
laser
but he
vision,
doesn't.
but
Yeah,
he doesn't. So why doesn't he? Why doesn't he just do it? Because Lex Luthor still has rights as a citizen, and he needs to prove it. He
yeah,
needs to prove it in a court of law, right? Like Superman, and that takes writing skills. It doesn't take any skill for me to create Superman and go around laser face every. Oh look, there's Brainiac. Well, I'll just beat the shit out of him. It's like, okay,
laser
there.
face.
It's I don't know. Laser. I just watched Guardians 2, and the guy's name was
Oh
Taserface.
yeah, taser face. Yeah,
But no, it's like it's like there's like Lex Luthor is garbage, right? Superman will fly over and just smash his face in, and it's over. Lex
yeah,
Luthor and Superman have been in the same room so many times that Superman could have easily killed him,
mhm,
But Lex Luthor's smart. Maybe he'd have maybe be a hologram, or he'd have a kryptonite ring or some crap. Who knows, right? But the
yeah,
point is that it's a cat and mouse. They're trying to outsmart each other, and they're trying to,
mhm,
beat each other. Superman uses his strengths to try to weaken Luthor's, thing, and
yeah,
Luthor uses his strengths to weaken Superman. That's the cool part about it.
yeah,
Obviously, Superman can beat up, and this, not to get into Batman versus Superman, but Superman can just beat the crap out of Batman. Don't
yeah.
stop pretending that there's a matchup happening. But in
Like
any case,
how would Batman have a suit that's as powerful as Superman?
yeah, that's
And
garbage.
yeah, I know that they weakened Superman as well with the
Yeah, whatever.
kryptonite
Yeah, the
stuff.
kryptonite dust or
Look,
whatever.
it's fun. I'll just say this about Superman comics. Like I've always been disappointed by Superman comics. And I know you read them a lot, but
Yeah.
I feel like Superman's better served in media outside of comics. And a lot of Superman's lore was shaped outside of comics, right? Even the Superman Batman team up was the first time was in radio.
Mhm.
Um, what's his name? Jimmy Olsen is created,
Yep,
I
it was
think,
created.
in
Yep.
radio, and yeah, et cetera, et cetera. The list is numerous. But the thing is that, like, I think Superman, it's funny to me, Superman has the most potential for growth and development among all the superheroes, even though he's the oldest superhero. It's
Yeah.
funny, like, you can really build out his rogues gallery if you wanted to. You can really shape up his personality and who he is and where he's from if you wanted to, because I don't feel like the comics have really done that, and there have been so many comics. Um,
They come and go.
I feel like to me when I was a kid, yeah, we all loved Superman, mostly from the media. When I tried to read Superman during the Christopher Reeve era, uh, they were trying to push Terra Man, who was like the worst villain ever. And the thing is that like the stories were not interesting. I really loved Spider-Man. The stories were always great. I liked his interactions with his like ensemble cast,
Yeah.
like and dating and everything, and Aunt May, his conversations with Aunt May, and his fights with J. Jonah Jameson. Like they had a grounded, great character that had great stories and a great rogues gallery, and I always wanted that for Superman.
I will say, I know, but the comics go up and down, and there's been a lot of comics, Sean. It's hard to like.
Yeah, I
I
know.
would
Yeah.
say, like Man of Steel, right?
Hmm.
That's the Man of Steel miniseries,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
after that, it went to Superman, and where is that on here? It should be alphabetical. Why is it not coming up? Was it just called Superman? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was called
Superman.
Superman.
There was there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Superman.
that's it. It was just called Superman. There
Man
you
of
go.
Steel.
These ones.
Yeah. Right.
These ones were really good.
Yeah, those
Um,
early ones I read all those. Yeah.
yeah, those are
And,
really
and and
good.
John Byrne was trying to make him a more Marvelized type of character, and everyone
Yes.
knew that. Everyone knew
Yeah,
that.
no,
Yeah.
no, for sure. I like John Byrne a lot, actually. I think he does
And
good
there's
when
that
he's.
great issue where on the cover it's like Superman is Clark Kent, like and Lex Luthor's looking at the screen. So in the comic they do actually reveal that. And
Yeah,
Lex Luthor is such a narcissist and an egomaniac. He can't imagine someone like Superman doing that to himself. And he's like, that's
I know.
impossible. And
That
that's a
was great. That was
great
like the
way to
second
tackle
issue.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that was the second one. I can pull it up
I
too.
remember seeing that on the racks, and I was like, "What?" And then I picked it up for like a
Yeah,
buck 35 or whatever. And then, yeah,
it's like literally. There you go.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's like I know that was great. And yeah, I know. Like Lex Luthor is just such a goof that he just can't see it. It's like, no, this can't be it, or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, yeah, Superman is awesome. They could do a lot of good stuff with him, but lately the media, the stuff outside of comics and even the stuff inside comics has been kind of wonky. And I don't want people to not like Superman because of what they're seeing. We can do a Transformers thing another time, but that's my problem.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the Transformers movies, except for the fact that everyone now thinks that that's what Transformers has to offer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my problem. Superman is better than Batman v Superman or Man of Steel or Superman Returns or, you know, whatever the Bendis stuff that you don't like is happening now. Like,
Yeah.
you need to have people who really care. I don't know if the Snyder Cut or if this new thing, nothing against Henry Cavill, that's fine. I don't know if they can do it. The Superman show is coming out, Lois and Superman,
Yeah.
whatever's coming. I don't think it's going to happen, man. I don't think it's going to be good. The Supergirl series has the same problems fundamentally as the Zack Snyder stuff. It's like she's Supergirl. Well, she's Supergirl sometimes. Sometimes it's weird. She'll be Supergirl like 80% of the time, and then a couple of times she'll do stupid things, and you're like, why would Supergirl do that? That doesn't make any sense. And this is what I feel is happening. Except Superman, the ratio is worse. It's like it's 20% Superman and 80% bullshit that they want to change Superman. But I just don't know if the new Superman show can do anything with that. I have no idea. Like,
We'll see. Yeah.
we'll have to see how this plays out. But Superman in other media is not great either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Not now. Yeah.
It.
He jobs for people, and like they don't really tell Superman stories anymore.
Yeah.
And in the movies, he's not really Superman, and people recognize that. And that's why there isn't these giant blockbusters right now. So,
yeah, because Superman, like, look,
and
Batman versus Superman should have killed Avengers.
Yeah, one of the most popular characters in the Avengers movies turned out to be Captain America.
For sure.
Iron Man was up there, and people were like, "Oh, you're Robert Downey Jr., yay!" But like, as the movies progressed, I think people really, really took to Captain America. They kept his character.
He's the best.
Yeah, and even that first movie introduces you to his morality and his resourcefulness. Like all those tests and stuff with the army training was great. And it's like taking down the flagpole, you know, to get to the flag. It's like, you know, and jumping onto the bomb to you know, sacrifice himself for his team and all that. That was all great. And then they're like, yeah, this guy should be Captain America. But
Captain America Part 1 was great. That was 10 out of 10. I mean, like, you walked out saying, I want to be Captain America. Little kids were like, Dad, buy me a shield. It's like, you know, and having his weapon be a shield and not a gun or a sword, or like, you know, Deadpool has swords and guns and knives. It's like, no, Captain America only has a shield.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And it's like so many things done right in that movie. Well, that's the guy who made Rocketeer, right? Which is freaking awesome too. But like, it's like, where's that guy? I can't remember his name now. Johnson?
Joe Johnson?
Joe
Johnston? Yeah.
Yeah. Where's that guy?
Yeah.
Where's he for Superman?
Yeah.
Like after watching Captain America, then I would think, yes, that is, even Wonder Woman was much better. Yeah. And why do you think Wonder Woman is the most popular of the DC? Look, the quality of films.
A morality to her. Yeah.
Yeah. The quality of the films, they're all good quality films. Productions is good, and there's good effects, and there's fighting. But Wonder Woman, in the first 10 minutes, that little girl running around, I want to save people. I want to, you know, beat up the bad guys. I'm like, well, this kid's the best. Like in 3 seconds. And then she shows up, and then she's in the no man's land. She's in the trenches. And it's like, she's like, no, I have to help these people. And it's like, da-da-da. And she rips off the thing, the cloth, and she's got the costume, and she's like taking all the shots. I'm like, well, this is the goddamn best. And it's like,
I was waiting for them to do this where it's like, no, you can't go into no man's land. It's like, I'm no man. They didn't do that.
They didn't do it.
And I was really impressed because that's the easy line to write for that.
They didn't do that because they're quality writers and not bonehead morons. Like, we need to have it's like, we need to make all the men in this movie stupid and irritating and garbage in order to make the female character look good. No, you make all of the men competent, good soldiers, moral men. Steve Trevor has morals. He's a good guy. He's fighting the good fight. And that makes Wonder Woman even better because she's just as good as him, but has even more morality and more sensitivity. And that makes her even better. And she will fight and not give up. That makes her better. Making everyone stupid, like in Birds of Prey, all the men are assholes or stupid just to make the girls look better. It's like, no, that doesn't make me pumped up for them. That's lazy.
writing.
Lazy writing, very lazy. Or everyone's a dumbass, so obviously this person's the best. It's like, no, that first Wonder Woman movie is great because of that. Like the fight at the end, the villain, Ares, they kind of messed him up. But Wonder Woman herself was bloody 10 out of 10. She's perfect. She fights a good fight. She's sensitive. Why can't female characters have sensitivity? Like Captain America can be sensitive. Like it's just so stupid. Their idea of strong female is literally a strong woman who just beats up people. No, that's not what that means.
And
she
not
has to be morally strong too.
Yeah,
that's the mistake. That was the mistake with some of the other female heroes where they tried to pump them up. And it was, or like Captain Marvel, not to go on that, I like Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, and she is Captain Marvel, but Captain Marvel is not Wonder Woman. They tried to make the Captain Marvel character into a Wonder Woman type of character, but she is not. It's like Black Widow is not. Black Widow is a spy and espionage and fighting and covert ops. She is not the Wonder Woman of they tried to make Captain Marvel the Wonder Woman of Marvel's or of MCU. But Captain Marvel, the character, is not that. That is not the character to choose to give that thing to. Captain Marvel, as a character, she is portrayed properly on screen, but she is not what is advertised. They're advertising as this is the female character that all little girls want to grow up to be. No, that is not what Captain Marvel stands for. And trying to push that is a mistake. It's like Superman. Captain America, Superman, those are the two. They're equal, like in their way, right? It's like you can't try to make Iron Man into a Captain America type figure. He is not that.
Yeah.
Right? Captain Marvel and Iron Man are similar in the sense that they kind of have this like who cares attitude. They'll help people, but they're kind of snarky and they kind of like make fun of people and they're not really that like personable. That's them. Like that should not be the hero, the female hero you look up to. So that's the mistake there. And they're doing that with Superman. When I walk out of Man of Steel, you walk out saying, that was a kick-ass movie with great action scenes. You don't walk out saying, I want to buy a Superman cape and put an S on my chest and run around the playground pretending to fly.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, they were reacting too much to Marvel. And I'm disappointed with this idea that like entertaining and full of humor is a Marvel thing and a Marvel brand. No, it's called entertainment.
Right.
So if you make a Superman movie full of humor and inspiration, and it's a fun movie, and you like Superman at the end of it, that's not a Marvel style of storytelling. That's storytelling. But what they did was they're like, well, Marvel's doing this, so we'll go dark and gritty with the DC characters. They said that in press releases and stuff and in shareholder meetings, and it was a stupid way to go. You can do that. It's not appealing. Why would I go back and watch that now? It's like, Superman's frying people in Batman vs. Superman. Batman vs. Superman, I can't believe they made that. There's a jar of piss in that. I can't believe. There's so much to love about that for the wrong reasons. Yeah. Like where he goes into the Himalayas or something like that. And there's like guys like in the snow. And I don't even know what they're doing. They're just like hanging around. And one guy's like, there goes a man who's come to die or something like that. And it doesn't make any sense because we know he's not come to die. And then he talks to his dead dad and like, what's his dad? I can't remember the actor's name. Waterworld.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah, Kevin Costner.
Is Kevin Costner.
Yeah, and Kevin Costner sounds like he has like loose dentures or something. He talks about these horses and how like they tried to save the horses, but the horses died. And then Clark's like, so what are you trying to say? And he goes, well, sometimes you can't really save everyone. And then he looks up to him and goes, he's like, thanks, Dad. And that scene means nothing.
Nothing.
Like that whole movie is so awful, and like they gave them all the money in the world to make it. Anyways,
So
Action Comics 775.
Action Comics, we knew this was going to happen, so I was
Yeah.
mentally prepared. You can't, I mean, Action Comics 7075 is awesome. Get it, read it. It's wicked. I
Yeah.
haven't watched the Elite movie. I do have it on
Yeah.
Blu-ray. I'm just so behind on these movies. I am going to watch it. It's a great Superman comic. We'll do more Superman stuff. We will do Batman. We will do DC. We might even do outside of DC, even like maybe like a Spawn or something might be interesting.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff out there now that we've expanded this key issue thing to mean anything that we want. It doesn't have to be the first appearance, it doesn't have to be the first costume, it doesn't have to be the first whatever. It could just be anything that we think is good. Like I've got things where it's like I remember a certain Spider-Man issue where I first noticed the art and it was Todd McFarlane, and it wasn't Todd McFarlane's first Marvel piece or whatever, but it just happened to be the one where I kind of, oh wow, this is wicked, you know, like so it could be anything, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna play it by ear, and we'll just kind of go how we'll just go by how we do it. So let us know in the comments what you think of Superman. Is he the best? Is he okay? You know, what do you think about this issue? If you've read it, I don't know if people read a lot of like older comics now, but I guess we'll just wrap it up there. I think we've covered everything we need to cover. It was a great story. It's a good story, good characters, good art. I like the dialogue. I like the stuff with him and the dad. I like him and Lois. He outsmarts them at the end, but we still get a little bit of a fight.
Yeah.
Manchester Black is drawn. This is one of the ones where the facial expressions, you're right, like I saw him and he just looks like a complete douche. And normally you always see comic characters, it's like they're drawn, you're like, okay, but I could really tell that this guy was just a complete ass.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
Yeah.
it was so really good art. But yeah, it was an awesome issue. And anything else, Sean, to wrap up or?
No, yeah, this is a great issue, and we'll try and get more into DC and like Marvel and stuff too.
Yeah, we did a lot of Marvel in the first couple seasons of everything, so
yeah,
we'll try to hit a couple more DCs, maybe do a Batman or something.
Yeah,
we're not going to do Batman Year One because like
no,
we're Killing Joke. What's that about again? Anyway, all right, guys. Well, that's it then for now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.